Hey there, welcome to the UkeStuff channel and welcome to this tutorial for the play-along videos of Love Me Tender as recorded by Elvis Presley. All-time famous song. It's built on Orally, the folk song. Incidentally, on this channel I do have a chord melody arrangement of Orally if you'd like to play it. It's available for both GCEA and DGBE Ukulele, and there is a tutorial and demonstration on this website as well. Now, with the Love Me Tender, I have made it available in two keys for ukulele, the key of C, which is much easier to play, but also the key of D, the original key, and then for baritone, it's only available in the key of D. What I'm going to do in this video is I'll go over the chords you need for GCEA, both in the keys of C and D. Then I'll go over the chords you need for DGBE baritone, and then I'll talk about strumming. If you want to support the work on this channel, there are three things you can do. You can like the video, you can subscribe to the channel, or you can always buy me a cup of coffee to say thank you for making this content at www.buymeacoffee.com/UkeStuff. All right, let's begin with the chords needed for GCEA soprano concert tenor ukulele in the key of C. I'll be using this instrument. This is my Mayamoe Myrtle concert ukulele. You'll need the C chord, then the D7 chord. It's actually the Hawaiian D7 because there's no D in it. The G7 chord, the E7 chord, one of my favorite. First of all, come at it at an angle. Put your first finger on the 4-string first fret and the other two fingers down. A minor chord, C7, F chord, F minor. Think about playing the D7 but up one string. Then add your pinky to the first string, 3rd fret, and then A7 chord. And those are the chords you need to play Love Me Tender on GCEA soprano concert or tenor ukulele in the key of C. Now let's look at the chords you need to play it in the key of D. In the key of D, first of all, you'll need the D chord, and you have to figure out how you want to play D, and it's up to you. There are about 5 choices. Katie Demure at One Music School here on YouTube has a video where she shows 7 different ways to play D. For certain, please don't play it with your thumb. What I normally do is play a G7 chord, but in a very small space. I put my first finger at the top of the 3rd string, 2nd fret, and my other 2 fingers around it. And that's how I play D most of the time because it allows me to switch to some other chords more easily. But some people want to play 1, 2, 3 in a row, which is like the books say. Some people want to use one finger like this and don't touch the first string. Some people want to use 2 fingers. There are a number of ways to do it. Just use what works for you. Then there's the E7 chord. I always tilt my hand up a little bit, put my first finger at the top of the 4th-string first fret and my other 2 fingers down. Then an A7 chord. Then an F-sharp 7. Now, please don't get razzled by this chord. Think of it as being a normal F7, but you're just moving it down. So play your F chord up a fret and then add 2 fingers down. That's your F-sharp 7 chord. Then we have our B minor chord. This might be the one hard chord for you. It's a bar chord. Now, when I teach my students bar chord, we start at the 5th fret. And what I always say is pull against the fretboard with your finger, making it flat, and then your ukulele is firmly held and you're pulling against the fretboard. That's the trick, not pinching. If you try to pinch, you're going to cause all sorts of problems here. Don't pinch. It's pull, and the thumb just adds some support. But really, you're at the 2nd fret, so you're above the middle 2nd fret, pull against the fretboard, add your thumb, and then reach over and play the 4th-string 4th fret with your ring finger. That's your B minor chord, then your D7 chord, G chord, G minor chord, which just may require some practice getting to that one because it's not that commonly used as the other chords, and then a B7. Now, you can play a B7 with a bar chord like you did with the B minor, but I find this one is easier because it switches from the E minor. Even though there's no E minor to be played here, I find that B7 easier to find by putting my first finger on the 2nd string, 2nd fret, and this water falling down. That works better for me. But those are the chords you need to play Love Me Tender on soprano concert or tenor GCE ukulele in the key of D. Now, let's take a look at baritone. On baritone, I'll be using this instrument. This is my Tom concert ukulele with Paper Maro baby baritone strings on it, so I can tune it like a baritone. So the first chord you'll need is the D chord, then an E7 chord, Then an A7 chord, this is a bar chord, so take your first finger, lay it right above the metal second fret, pull against the fretboard, support your ukulele with your strumming hand, whichever, whether you're right or left-handed, pull against the fretboard there. That'll give you most of the sound, add your thumb for some support, and then on the first string, third fret, play with your second finger. That's your A7 chord. Then leave everything there for the F sharp 7, except move your second finger over to the third string, third fret. That's an F sharp 7. Then a B minor chord. And I'll be honest, that one I always struggle with because of having to use those extra 2 fingers that I don't on the normal GCEA shape of E minor. But because of the linear tuning on most baritones, it does sound better to use all 4 fingers there. Then the D7 shape, then the G, a G minor, which is a partial bar chord. Most people don't get freaked out about this one. You just pull against the first, second, and third strings right above the metal third fret and add your thumb for some support. And then a B7 chord, which is one of my favorite shapes. I turn my wrist a little bit so I can keep my arm straight, put my first finger on the 4th string, first fret, and my other 2 fingers down. And that is the B7 chord. And those are all the chords you need to play Love Me Tender on baritone DGBE ukulele in the key of D. Now let's talk about strumming. For strumming, I'm just going to do this in the key of D, not the key of C, just to give you an idea of what I would do. First and foremost, let's say this very clearly. There is not one single right answer for strumming because we're not playing guitar like the original recording. And we can't exactly duplicate that sound. So do keep that in mind. We don't have the bass strings to do it. So with that in mind, you can approximate what you hear, but even if you don't, you can play other things as well. Here are the 3 rules. If you play the right chords, number 2, play them in the right tempo and change at the right time. And 3, whatever you're playing fits with the style of the song, you're good. So if you don't like this suggestion, go play something else that matches those 3 rules. There is not one single right answer for strumming with songs that didn't have ukulele in them originally. And even in those cases, sometimes the songs with ukulele in them originally, there's kind of a problem there because they're done on a, for example, low G ukulele, like Is Over the Rainbow, What a Wonderful World combination is done with an ukulele that most people don't own with a low G. So you can't ever actually replicate that perfectly either. So those 3 rules, right chord, right time and right tempo with a strum that matches the style, and you're good. Now, if you want a suggestion, that's why I do these videos. That's why these videos began to be created, the tutorials. Not because people couldn't look up the chords, but people always ask, what's the strumming? Well, here's an idea for you. I would play string 3 and 4 in alternation. And yes, it works with baritone as well. I'll show you that in a second. But then after you do each 3 and 4 with the thumb, I would then strum all 4. Love me tender, love me true, never let me go. All right, that would work excellent. So 3, 4, 3, 4, and then a strum in between each. Change. A7, D. And yes, it's much slower, just demonstrating if you do that yourself, for example, by playing yourself instead of with the recording. Now, on baritone, it's going to be realistically the same thing, although you could switch 3 and 4 and play 4, 3. That would work as well, too. So you could go 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, then 4, 3, 4, 3. Or you could just keep going 3, 4, like on GCEA reentrant tuning, sort of like this. And that tempo is way, way, way faster than a recording, but that gives you even more time to think about what you want to do. So with baritone, or linear GCA for that matter, either one, you could go 4 strum 3 strum, or you could go 3 strum 4 strum. Either one of those would work. All right, so with those chords and that strumming, that's all you need to do to be successful on Love Me Tender as recorded by Elvis. Thanks so much for joining me for this video. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll be back soon with some more uke stuff for you.